Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new day of Road to VGC Worlds 2017. I'm bringing a brand new team today. I know you guys are fans of original teams, and this is a team that features Oricorio and uses a pretty nice strategy, so I hope you guys can leave a like on the video to support the series, and I hope you guys will enjoy. Now, I'll go into a strategy as I go along. The team is in the description down below if you want to see the movesets and EVs and everything. And yeah, we're up against Lilligant, Rock, Mudsdale, Zalazzle, Mimikyu, Pheromosa, and Kartana. Now, all of those are very scary Pokemon, I'm not gonna lie. And I do have the Lilligant Torkoal combo. But if that Mimikyu is a Trick Room Mimikyu, that's going to be really scary, because that's definitely one of the weaknesses of the team. Now, I do have the normal Lilligant Torkoal combination, but Oricorio seems really good here as well, especially against Pheromosa and Kartana. And then, as our last Pokemon, I feel like Tapu Lele has a merit here. My own Pheromosa as well, because it does have the Focus Sash. And that's actually really appealing to me. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Pheromosa because of the Focus Sash. Lilligant Rock can be an issue. I believe it does have like that priority rock attack or something like that. Maybe I'm making a mistake, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I'm pretty happy with this team. I got it all the way to 1600 on Showdown. So I know it's good. I've played a lot with it, and I know it has a lot of potential. And yeah, we're up against Pheromosa and Kartana. So immediately the two Ultra Beasts. Now, I know that, or well, here you would expect Pheromosa to have the Focus Sash. It shouldn't be able to KO Torkoal, at least. But since I don't have Heat Wave, I would love to Heat Wave and Protect here, but I don't have Heat Wave. I chose Flamethrower as my attack of choice. So, even then, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna Protect Lilligant, because I feel like my opponent should see that as a bigger threat. And I'm gonna Flamethrower the Pheromosa to bring it down to its Focus Sash. And then next turn, provided I have like at least half of my HP left, I can after you Eruption in order to deal with both Pokemon at the same time. And there we do see the Sacred Sword onto the Torkoal, which doesn't deal too much damage, and we did see the Ice Beam onto the Lilligant. So because I'm not Focus Sash Lilligant, that would have maybe KO'd Lilligant. I do have some bulk, but it's not too bulky. And now I can do the Eruption strategy, because I will deal enough damage to both. I just saw the Focus Sash activate on Pheromosa, so Kartana probably has an Assault Vest. It still won't save it from a Sun boosted, Charcoal boosted Eruption, even if it's not at max damage. And yeah, there we go. We do KO both Pokemon. So maybe in this first battle we won't get to see the whole Oricorio dancing strategy, but I am in the business of winning, so I'd rather get the wins, and still I'm sure we will have a chance to showcase the real strategy. It's been really hard today to find opponents and battle spots, so hopefully that won't be too much of a big issue. I might have to cut the video between battles, but to do that, not because I'm editing out any losses or anything like that. And okay, we do see the Lilligant Rock and the Mudsdale. Both Pokemon weak to grass. So, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna Quiver Dance with Lilligant, and see, I kind of want to bring in Oricorio here, but I feel like he might target the Torkoal with a rock type attack. Although, nah, let's go for it. Let's go for the Quiver Dance, and as Torkoal switches out, Oricorio will get a Quiver Dance itself as well, thanks to its ability Dancer. So So both my Pokemon will be at +1 special attack, +1 special defense, and +1 speed, provided Oricorio does survive. And I'm pretty sure Lilligant should be able to close this one out. Thanks to Petal Dance, it should be able to 1-KO both of my opponent's Pokemon. Okay, so we do see a stab Rock Slide on both my Pokemon, and Oricorio barely survives because it's life orb. Okay, it does activate the Sitrus Berry for Lilligant, and what's Mudsdale gonna do? Is it gonna Rock Slide as well? No, he goes for a high horsepower onto a Torkoal float, so that's definitely great. And now, here's the thing, here's what's gonna happen. I'm going to attack 3 times. Thanks to my ability. I'm going to Petal Dance, and that's probably going to be well, in theory I would attack 3 times, okay? I'm gonna use the C move onto Mudsdale because that's definitely more bulky. But here, Lilligant will use Petal Dance, and neither of these Pokemon should survive a +1 Petal Dance, and then Oricorio will immediately use another Petal Dance, and even after that Petal Dance, Oricorio would still get its C move off, thanks to its ability, because this doesn't count as an attack. I'm just copying the dance move off of Lilligant. So yeah, no need to use the C move. This was a pretty straightforward battle, but that's the main strategy. Like, if either of my opponent's Pokemon had survived the attacks, I would have still had a +1 Supersonic Strike off of a Hurricane in order to deal with whatever HP my opponent had left. So that's the beauty of this team. You get to attack 3 times in one turn. Thanks to Oricorio. The team does center around Oricorio. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to showcase more of that in the following battles. I had some interesting battles yesterday in the Spanish videos. I won the first one and lost the second one. The second one was really difficult because Snorlax is a big issue for this team. Snorlax is just way too bulky, and my Pheromosa is not a mixed Pheromosa, so I rely pretty much 100% on special attackers. Snorlax has a really high special defense. I have no way to hit it for super effective damage. So I've made a change to the team by having a mixed Pheromosa. That's the one I'm using now in Showdown, but I don't have the Pokemon ready just yet. So that's why if we do see a Snorlax, it might actually cause us quite a bit of trouble. Now my opponent, interestingly using Pikachu instead of Raichu. So that probably means he has the Lightning Rod ability. So Arcanine is an issue. Porygon 2 is also an issue, I'm not gonna lie. But I can lead Pheromosa Oricorio pretty comfortably here, I would say. And in the back, I think I definitely want Tapu Lele and Garchomp. Tapu Lele is, I guess, insurance, if you will, against that Dragon Dancing Gyarados. A Pikachu Gyarados lead would actually be quite problematic. Because, well, maybe not so much. No, yeah, it would definitely be problematic. Because it would absorb my lightning type attacks. I wonder if a +1 Supersonic Strike would be enough to 1-KO Gyarados though. That I do not know. That I definitely do not know. But yeah, we'll go as I mean, my opponent sees my team right now. He might not necessarily know that that's his best lead against my lead. Although it's like a fairly obvious combo, if you will, to lead off of with. But no, we see Porygon 2 and Gyarados. So Gyarados' damage output doesn't scare me too much. He has to be threatened by Oricorio, and Porygon 2, wow, Porygon 2 copies the Beast Boost because it has Trace instead of Download. But I like, you would expect Porygon 2 to be a little bit afraid of the Pheromosa. A Trick Room would really suck though. A Trick Room would really suck here. And the threat of Pikachu, The threat of Pikachu makes me really want to go ahead and start damaging Porygon 2. I mean, even if he brings in Pikachu here, which I hope he doesn't. No, okay, so he brings in Arcanine to further intimidate my possible Pheromosa. Arcanine is very scary, and I'm gonna guess we are going to see a Trick Room here. But I get both of my Pokemon at +1. I do get the +1 for both, and my Focus Sash will still be intact, so that's good. That's good for us. I don't know where my opponent might have the Focus Sash, and yeah, there's the Trick Room. Okay, there's something important here though. Not the Focus Sash, the C move. Gyarados probably has a C move. Garchomp might have a C move, because other than Gyarados, he doesn't have any real partners to abuse Earthquake with. So if I base my decision on that, I'm gonna protect the Pheromosa, and I'm gonna go for the C move onto the Porygon 2. If my opponent goes for a Snarl, that might be a problem. But if he doesn't, I should be able to pick up the KO on Porygon 2 here. Hopefully he focuses on Pheromosa here though with Arcanine. We do see a nice beam going on to Oricorio. That's not good news. That did a lot of damage. And we do see a Flamethrower onto the Pheromosa. Okay, so that makes sense. Well, doesn't really make sense. It's just, I'm not gonna complain about that. And the Supersonic Strike, based on the damage that the previous dance move did on Porygon 2, it really should be enough, because this is a much more powerful attack. They're both stab boosted, and yeah, that's super enough to deal with Porygon 2. I'm really surprised at how much damage that did to my Oricorio though. And that's 2 turns of Trick Room, 3 turns left. Gyarados is kind of a threat here, I guess. My Protector on Oricorio is so obvious though. It's really so obvious. The Ice Fang from Gyarados. He could also go for the C move. So, and he knows my Pheromosa can't really protect here. So I really need to stall out the Trick Room, so I'm gonna protect with Oricorio anyways, even though it's a bit obvious. If he double focuses on Pheromosa, that's gonna be bad. But no, he brings in Gyarados for the Intimidate, I guess. But no double attack on Pheromosa guarantees that... Okay, there's a Snarl. Guarantees that I will get the Ice Beam off. And even though it will be neutral now, Pheromosa's special attack is still pretty big. Pikachu is not the bulkiest of Pokemon, so it's almost enough to KO it. Almost enough. Okay. Now, there's 2 turns of Trick Room left. So what I'm gonna do here, based on the fact that he has Gyarados in the back, and I probably do need my my Oricorio here, I'm gonna switch Oricorio into Garchomp because it's not affected by the Snarl, and any weird attack Pikachu wants to do, either a Fake Out will knock it out on its own, or any lightning type attack will simply not be effective at all. So there's a Fake Out onto what would have been Oricorio. That's perfect, because the Rough Skin will KO the Pikachu on its own, which is pretty good. And Arcanine goes for a Snarl, which doesn't really do anything to Garchomp. So now Gyarados comes into play, intimidates my Garchomp, but I'm not scared. Honestly, I'm not too scared. If he focuses on Garchomp, can I let Pheromosa go down here? I'm afraid of how I'm gonna deal with Gyarados if I don't have the boost on Oricorio. That's my biggest concern. And another Snarl would be really sucky here. I'm still gonna go for the Ice Beam on Gyarados, and because Garchomp can't deal fairly easily with Arcanine, I'm gonna switch out into Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele should be able to survive any attack my opponent throws at it. If it goes down to -1 due to Snarl, that probably means my Pheromosa gets an attack off onto the Gyarados, which is fine. But no, Gyarados goes for the Dragon Dance. That's exactly what I was afraid of. That's exactly what I was afraid of. Arcanine does go for the Flamethrower. Wow. Yikes. Okay, so that was absolutely worst case scenario for us. That was worst case scenario. Now we're facing off against that +1 Gyarados. A +1 Gyarados with a very likely C move. A very, very likely C move. Okay. And both my opponent's Pokemon are at full HP. Okay. I mean, do I even protect Oricorio? I'm going to assume he's going to go for the C move onto Oricorio. But just in case he doesn't, yeah, I have to double up on the Gyarados here. He really shouldn't. He has no reason to protect. And my Tapu Lele... should have gone for the Tailwind. I was this close to clicking Tailwind. Wow. That -1, I mean, Gyarados might also be holding a berry. Oh, damn. That was a really, really bad turn. That... oh. Okay, Helping Hand. That means he's probably going after Tapu Lele? No, he went after Oricorio. Oh no, he did go after Tapu Lele. Okay, so I get the Tailwind off. I actually get the Tailwind off here. So that's pretty big. What have we seen from that Arcanine? We've seen Snarl, and we've seen Flamethrower and Helping Hand. So most likely no Protect. But right here, both of my Pokemon should be faster. Right? But does he protect the Gyarados though? An Earthquake is probably not enough to deal with Arcanine here. Then if he protects Gyarados, what's my safe play here? If he protects Gyarados, I have to make the call here. I have to make the call. Does he protect or not? They never protect. Okay. I mean, I could... Rock Slide, I guess, is safer. Does he protect? No, he didn't protect. Okay, that's good news, I think. That's good news. This Earthquake will most likely not KO Arcanine. No, it doesn't. But even at -1, the Revelation Dance should deal that much damage to Gyarados. Ooh. Wow. That was way too close. And he went for the Snarl. He didn't even go for the Flamethrower to KO Oricorio. Okay, that means even if he had protected, I would have been perfectly fine. But yeah, that's definitely a mistake from my opponent. But wow, that Tailwind was so clutch. So clutch. And now we just double up onto the Arcanine. And we get ourselves a win here. Wow, that was quite an amazing match. Good game to Vasti and VGC. I don't know if he's watching or anything, but that was a really close game. Really, really close. Yeah, Trick Room is another thing that this this decade, this team really doesn't like dealing with. It gives this team a lot of problems. You rely a lot on the Revelation Dance and the Quiver Dances rather, and possibly Tailwind. So it's another issue I definitely need to solve right here in order to maybe make this team actually 100% competitive and be able to perform at tournaments. I do want to start going to tournaments now for VGC. I do have some weekends off on February from TCG tournaments, so hopefully I'll be able to squeak in a premier challenge here and there, maybe even a mid-season showdown, who knows. But anyways, that's gonna be it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. Please leave a like on the video if you can. I would really appreciate it, and I will see you guys most likely next week, because there won't be any other English VGC video. You can watch the Spanish videos if you want to see more of this team, and the whole team is in the description down below if you want to try it out on Showdown or whatever. Thank you guys so much, and bye bye.